it's Holly here from Your Past is a Gift. So in this video, I thought I'd explain how it is that we have two different names on the YouTube channel and how we have two different websites. So when I started off, originally I started off with Easy Mind, Easy Life. Okay, and I think I had that going for about 2 years before I got the idea of creating this book. Because when I started with this book, I just started with a notepad, you know, like I got paper and I got a pen and I just started writing down everything I'd been through in my life. And eventually this journal, as I call it, you know, with all my memories and all my interpretations and how I view them today, now, with all this new knowledge that I've gained in the last 5 years. This journal originally was made for my daughter because I didn't want her later, if we were taken away, my husband and I, or even just me, that she not know all these things that I've already learned. It's taken me a whole lifetime to learn these things, you know, about, well, originally when I was little, my parents were always pushing me to be me. They didn't want me to be anything else. So the concept of being different and that it's okay to be different, that's what you're supposed to be, has already been conditioned into me from quite young. So I've never had a problem with being different because I knew if I came home and I was imitating anyone else, my parents would instantly tell me to stop doing that, you know, to use my own voice, you know, to stop making those gestures, because I'd come home and I'd even be walking and talking like these other kids, you know, that I'd spent all this time with, and they'd be like, stop doing that, you're freaking me out. You know, we want our daughter back. And so that was one of the loveliest things that my parents have ever given me, you know, that I need to be me and nobody else. I don't need to be like anyone else. You know, I was perfect just as I was. This is what they kept telling me by telling me to just be me and stop copying everyone else. And the same goes for you, even if you've been told a million times that you have to be like someone else. You don't. The truth is you are perfect as you are. You're perfect as you, for who you are, not because you are like someone else. So that was one of the most wonderful things that I've got out of this life. And I want her to know that for every minute of every day that she exists, that she is perfect just as she is. She doesn't need to be like anyone else. She doesn't need to fit into anything. She just needs to be her, and she's just amazing. As she grows and she gets more quirky and she gets more cheeky and she's so funny, you know, she's such a humorous little thing. And we love her sense of humor, you know, she's just a crazy little creature. But, you know, she's perfect, just as she is. She doesn't need to be like anyone else. She doesn't need to be as smart as anyone else. She doesn't need to be as athletic as anyone else. She doesn't need to be anything but what she is. And I put it to you today to start looking at yourself for who you are, because this was one of the gems of wisdom that were given to me as a child, and I so want her to always know that. And for you as well. You are meant to be different. You're not meant to be like anyone else. You're meant to be. And I'm here to tell you that, if no one's ever told you that before, you're meant to be different. You're meant to be yourself. You know, you have qualities within yourself that no one else has. You know, in that combination, we're all different. So I want you to start embracing that today and accepting this is who you are, and it's okay to be who you are. You don't need to be like anyone else. So that was one of the reasons that this book came into existence at all. One day, I remember I made the draft. I had my whole journal done, and it was all in handwriting on dozens and dozens and hundreds of pages. They're just everywhere, but just somehow in some order, you know, of Because like I said, I went backwards. I started where I was today and then just slowly went backwards to memories because the newer ones are fresher ones. And so as they start to, they surface, they come to the surface, they emerge, you write them down, you look at them and you understand what you got out of them. And then you go to the next one down, the next one down, the next one down. And so they were actually in order by the time I got to the top. Because the bottom ones were the ones where the newer memories that I had. And so by the time I got to the top, they were the very, very earliest memories of my childhood. And so once you started reading, it actually went from order, from my beginning to where I am today. And what happened was I made 3 copies of it. I photocopied, I gave one to my husband, because I thought, well, if I go, then at least he knows everything there is to know about me. Every thought I've ever had, every craziness that is me was in this journal, okay, on these pages. And then I made a copy for my mother-in-law because we're best friends and we've been through so much together. We've learnt so much together. And this whole journal came about because we went halves on a course that we did for self-esteem, and we learned so much from there, and that's where this whole thing started. So I thought I owed it to her, that she should have a copy. And she read it, she loved it, like she knew a lot of it, but then there's always new things that you don't know about someone, or new things that you can learn. And then the 3rd copy I gave to one of my best friends. But as I gave these 3 copies out one Christmas, it was for a Christmas gift for everyone, and I thought that's the most precious Christmas gift I could give to anybody. This is all of me, everything I've been through, every thought, every feeling, who I am. I thought it's the most precious gift I could ever give. Anyway, as I gave that one Christmas, which I think was 2 Christmases ago now, I'm trying to think, because this past Christmas, it dawned on me, my mother-in-law started reading through it, and she kept coming back to me about things that she'd be reading and things that were helping her resolve things that she'd been through in her past. Still, going over, she'd go over and she'd read again and she'd read again different chapters, because I had it in chapters of 5 years at a time of my life. The first 5 years, 5 to 10 years, 10 to 15. So I'd broken it up so that each chapter was 5 years. And so she'd go through and she kept getting things from it, little gems. And I thought, well, maybe this is meant to be more than just for these 3 people in my life. Maybe that, for me, that was enough, if it could help them. But at the same time, I thought, maybe there's others out there that need it as well. Like you right now listening to this, you might need it. You might need to know the process to be able to work through it. Shine a new light on it and be able to, live in this moment right now and get rid of all the junk that you've been carrying. Because that's what the process is, eliminating all the junk that we've collected along the way that we don't need anymore. You don't need it anymore. And so last Christmas I sat down, and it took me a good 4 months, 4 to 6 months to type it all up into the computer, find a publishing house and get it published. And so there it is. And once the book came out, and now there's a copy for everybody, so my husband got one. It's different to have a book than to have all these loose sheets like I'd handed out before. And I thought, well, that's for my daughter as well. Now she's got her own copy of the book. But I thought, now what? Right? And so the next step for me was, this is the year that my mum lost both of her parents. She was 5. And so I think to myself, well, if that happens to my daughter, that's all she's got of me. And I thought, for me, that wasn't enough. And so that's how these videos came about. The Your Past is a Gift videos. So the Easy Mind, Easy Life was my blog. That's where I started originally, and I would write down my ideas. I would blog the feelings I had, the ideas, all the knowledge that I was gaining over the last few years since she's been born. So Easy Mind, Easy Life is my blog. That's where I'd write all my thoughts, I'd write all my feelings. But the Your Past is a Gift, the book that came about, that's what ignited, you know, this motivation in me, this to have to do the videos as well, so that one day she'll look back on them. And, you know, one thing is to see the written word. Some people are, you know, they're good reading the words and they work it out in their head. I was one of those people. I loved reading and working it out in my own mind. But some people are very visual, or they like to hear it. You know, maybe you're not watching them. For a few courses that I did, they were videos, but it was just someone sitting there talking to you, and I thought, oh, you know, I'm not getting anything from watching it, but I'd listen to them over and over. You know, I put them on my phone and I put the headphones in and I'd just listen to them while I was with my little one at the park. And a lot of things sunk in that way. So whatever works for you, because now with the videos, you have the audio if you don't want to watch them, you have the visual, you're watching me be crazy on the screen, you know, and in the description below, there's always the link to the website. Your Past is a Gift. So if you want to have your own copy of the book, easy. Go to that website, yourpastisagift.com. You can get the ebook, or you can buy the paperback copy, just like the ones that are sitting there. And you can learn how to go through the process, because I've used my own life as an example for you, so that you can understand how the process works. All right, my darlings, this has gone a bit long, but got a bit carried away in the middle there, as always. All right, remember to click like and subscribe below so you don't miss any of the messages. Okay, and please share, because sharing is caring, and you never know whose life you might turn around with these videos. All right, my darlings, thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.